I used to think I was so unconditionally loving with my children. But the more I read the Real Love in Parenting book, the more I realized how much I was doing for my children, not so they'd be happy, but so that they would like me. And I realized that in some cases, the more I did for them, the more I addicted them to imitation love and to getting and protecting behaviors. In other words, I was hurting both them and myself with my choices. So now I feel paralyzed sometimes. I'm afraid to do anything for them, because I can't tell the difference between helping them for the right reasons and the wrong ones. I really need help with this.
You're not alone. Most parents can't tell the difference between helping their children and hurting them, except that very few stop what they're doing to ask themselves the question you just asked. So I commend you. You're way ahead of the game. Let's look briefly at the difference between helping that is truly beneficial and what people call helping that ends up being harmful. I've used this example before. Suppose you've become severely out of shape and I agree to help you train to become physically fit. Out of concern that you might overexert yourself, however, each time you show up for a practice session, I do you a favor by performing all the exercises for you. With that approach, I'm not actually helping you, as I claim, but enabling you to remain physically weak. With my favors, I'm actually crippling you. Many parents make similar mistakes with their children, both young and old. With young children, it's especially tempting to help them because they appear to need our assistance. Using this excuse inappropriately, I've watched many parents continue to tie their children's shoelaces, make their beds, and assist them in other ways far past the time when their children really require their assistance. By doing so, these parents actually weaken their children and convince them that they need help when that is not the case. In other words, they are enabling their children, not helping them. I also see parents do this with their adult children, especially in the area of money. They claim that their children could not make it without their help, when the truth is their children simply need to get a job. And in the short term, the children would have to do without luxuries and might even be homeless. But worst of all, they would be angry at their parents, which is intolerable to the parents. So, what is the difference between loving and enabling? Simply put, it comes down to motivation and pattern. First, motivation. In real love, the motivation is a desire to genuinely help your child learn and grow. Whereas in enabling, the motivation can be either a desire to make things just easier for your child, which is not the same as better, or to make your child like you. Now, pattern. In real love, help is offered to a child when it's really needed, and usually only intermittently, allowing for long periods where the child can take over to make his or her own choices. In enabling, helping is the dominant pattern. Now, obviously, none of this applies to an infant who can't do anything and where helping is required all the time. If you can remember most of this, you'll tend to be less afraid about making decisions about helping. And overall, you'll figure it out.